Excuse me. You're focusing too much on the product. You need to focus on the brand. Welcome to KWD Insights. This YouTube channel is a small business owner's secret to successful marketing. The digital landscape is changing. It's hard to keep up these days. And that's where we come in. KWD offers reliable resources for small business owners and startup companies. We offer weekly YouTube videos and weekly marketing newsletters that you can tune into to elevate your marketing. Or you can join the daily discussion on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. However you want to connect, we're here to help you elevate your marketing in the online digital realm. So a quick introduction before we jump into today's video. My name's Kelly Carter, and I'm the CEO of KWD Digital Marketing Agency. We are an agency local to Spring Hill, Florida, and we offer over 15 digital marketing services to small business owners located throughout Central Florida. So if you're located in Central Florida and you're interested in working with us, please reach out to us at www.kwd.marketing. This month, KWD is taking our followers on a comprehensive journey through branding. Today's video is going to be focused on what branding is and why it's important. So the definition of branding is the process of creating a unique name, design, symbol, or other feature that identifies and distinguishes a product, service, or company from its competitors. But really, it's psychology. It is the impression that a company leaves on the customers and the public at large. Branding is a crucial aspect of marketing to help build recognition, trust, and loyalty among your customers. Not only is it the process of creating a unique image or company name to quickly identify yourself as, but it's also your morals and what your brand stands behind. There's a lot that can go into creating a brand. Brand identity, brand tone, your color palette, your logo, your typography, down to the words that you say online, a consistent message across all platforms, the outreach that you do in a community, and what your business does that goes beyond the actual product itself is essentially your brand. And that's where you will find real loyalty. You can have the greatest product in the world, but if you have a tarnished brand, you're going to see a hit in your bottom line. So throughout the 4-week journey of a comprehensive branding overview, we are going to start out with today's video of what a brand is and why it's important. And we're going to follow into things like how to build a brand around your ideal target audience, how to proposition your brand, how to incorporate it into your marketing strategies to position it in front of your ideal customer. From there, we're going to go into why brand is so important, how to determine the success of a brand, what brand equity is, and exactly how much it can impact a company's bottom line. So from beginning to end, we hope to take you on a comprehensive branding journey. And while I have you here, if you would do me a favor and actually hit that like button as if it owed you money, because that's going to be how we're going to keep these free business resources flowing to small business owners throughout the nation. So your brand has 3 jobs, what I like to break it down to. 1, it helps you stand out online. 2, it helps build trust and more clients. And 3, it helps build loyalty and return clients. So your product is just that, it's a product. But your brand is the impression that stays behind with the customer. Throughout the customer service that you provided, throughout your marketing, throughout your outreach, you will start to create different impressions on your customers, and they will be lasting impressions. So when you think of McDonald's, you don't really just think of the sad hamburger that you get. You think of the happy clown and all of the nostalgic memories made there, maybe some of the classic toys that you got. And whenever there is a hit on brand's reputation, which we could go into a lot with McDonald's, there are ways that you can recoup it with public relations or brand restoration so that you can rebuild that brand trust with your target audience. So we've talked a little bit about what a brand is. It's the imagery, the words you use, what you do in the community, and the impression that you leave on your customer. We've talked about the 3 main jobs for a brand. which is to help you stand out online, to help you gain clients, and to help build loyalty and keep clients. But why is a brand so important? When you have a long-term vision for a company, you have to have an evergreen brand, something that you don't think will ever die. One thing that often comes to mind when I talk about brands is ADT. A lot of people know ADT as America's #1 home security service. But do you know that ADT actually stands for American District Telegraph, and that they started out in 1874 as a telecommunications company that over time evolved into security and, like I said, have the #1 standing across the nation? That is just one example of how a brand can outlive a product. And there are many other examples of why brands can either help or hurt your product. I'm going to go into a few brief examples during this video just to kind of give you a real understanding that a brand surpasses your logo, but it's who you are, it's what you represent. And I'm not going to go into any detailed case studies yet, but I am going to take a look at a case study in our 4th video of the month. So make sure to tune in throughout this process, and we will take a look at a deep dive of a brand case study so we can get a comprehensive look at all of their aspects. So first, I want to talk about some brands that have benefited from having a wholesome brand approach and leaving a wholesome impression on their customers. So one of my favorite brands that I do purchase from and I love to support is Tom's. They have a one-on-one model to where every pair of shoes that you purchase, somewhere a child who needs a pair of shoes gets one from your purchase. And that one-on-one model just leaves a very wholesome impression in my heart that you would have to do a lot to Tom's before I ever stop buying from them. I mean, I literally might even wear them on my wedding day for like my dancing shoes, like hard love. So another brand that I admire is Ben & Jerry's. Just going beyond my love of ice cream, they have integrated real social issues into their social media platforms. They tackle conversations around climate change, marriage equality, criminal justice reform. They use their whole platform to advocate for positive change. And it goes beyond what the customer sees at a surface level on their social media platforms. In their actual business strategy and in their business structure, they've integrated things like environmental incentives, and they prioritize environmental and social responsibility. So I think that is another reason that I'm always going to choose their ice cream when I'm in the freezer section and I'm having a bad day. And, you know, sometimes you just correlate a bad day with a warm, fuzzy thing. And having a brand that makes you feel warm and fuzzy beyond the product itself makes you want that brand on a bad day. So overall, that's just 2 impressions on how it can help benefit your company's bottom line from being wholesome. Some companies actually benefit from a more aggressive approach. So if you were looking at a lawyer, you would want maybe Morgan & Morgan because they're the aggressive attorney. They're the #1 across the nation. They have the most resources. They'll tackle any project. The list goes on. They've done so well in marketing themselves that when people think of lawyers, they generally think of Morgan & Morgan. And that's the brand impression there is a strong and long-lasting brand. And when you see it on a commercial, it might not mean much to you, but when you're in a situation where you need to spend thousands and thousands on a lawyer, you want to go with somebody that you can trust and have the resources to back you. Have I personally used them? No. Have I heard bad things from people? Yes. Have I heard good things from people? Yes. But they're still #1 for a reason, and it's because of a very solid marketing and brand strategy that they use. So some of the more assertive and strong brands that people always jump to when talking about brands would be the Nike, Apple, Coca-Cola, and Amazon. Tesla is a relatively new one. They're new to the car industry. They've positioned themselves to be ahead of the technology curve. They come off as extremely competitive in their business practices and extremely elegant and the high end in their branding. And that was after a pretty big branding flop at first. Well, I wouldn't call it a branding flop. We are talking about Elon Musk. But I did hear from a marketing buddy of mine that when Tesla first started out, they actually tried a pricing strategy where they priced their plans and their cars extremely low, and it undervalued their service. And people actually didn't start purchasing from them until they elevated their brand and the price point along with it. And once it had that luxury ticket, it resonated with their ideal target audience, and that sparked the success of the brand. But Tesla in itself has already kind of defined a lot of marketing norms, mostly expanded their business on mouth-to-mouth referrals. So that really goes against a lot of luxury companies that invest a lot of money in marketing. Yeah, it's really all about brand positioning and word of mouth on their successful $0 marketing strategy, is what a lot of people coined the term as. Well, as I said in the beginning of the video, you might be focusing too much on the product and not enough on the brand, because oftentimes the brand is going to outlive the product anyway. So what you really need to do when you're curating a brand is to realize who your target audience is, understand their needs, their wants, their pressure points, their brand, their psychology, and then curating a brand that appeals to that target audience and that custom psychology profile. Once you have a brand that resonates with your ideal target audience, then it goes into brand propositioning and a strategy to get your brand the attention that it deserves. Once your brand is receiving attention, it's time to start incorporating some client relationship marketing to get those sales into return customers, which will turn into word of mouth, which will turn into more success for your business. So if I can give any startup company advice, it would be to focus on the brand just as much, if not more, than you focus on the product itself. If you are interested in continuing this comprehensive journey through branding, tune in next week where we are going to be talking about your ideal target audience and how to build a brand that appeals directly to them. We are also going to be talking about propositioning strategy and how it can help your bottom line. We're going to go into a deep dive on a brand case study, kind of taking a look at their poor rebrand that happened and how it negatively impacted their bottom line. You can go ahead and comment in this section if you think you know who I'm talking about, because you probably do, but we're going to talk about it anyways because it hasn't been talked about enough. And for now, that's going to do it. This is Kelly with KWD Insights, and thank you for following along on our comprehensive journey through branding.